Hi everybody, this is Ravi Nalapredi from Precision Academy. Today I am going to cover international organizations which are working towards climate change. This is the concluding part of international environmental organizations. So today I am going to cover greenhouse gas accounting or greenhouse gas protocol. So, Global Climate Change Alliance, Climate and Clean Air Coalition, Global Alliance for Climate Smart Agriculture, UN RED and RED Plus, Global Environment Facility, UNEP, Earth Hour. These are the organizations or events that I am going to cover. To start with, greenhouse gas accounting. How do we account like GHG, greenhouse gases? So, emissions are getting accounted in this protocol. So, it will be quantified. Total greenhouse, how much greenhouse gases are being emitted by particular organization, business or country. So, it's industry based, produced directly by industry and business or organizations activities. So, it is also called carbon footprint. You need to remember this word, carbon footprint. So, when we walk on wet surfaces, our footprints will be there. Similarly, we keep destroying this environment, so we are leaving our footprints there. It is a business tool to calculate the carbon emissions or greenhouse gas emissions. So, guidance for accounting of GHG emissions and emission reduction projects is provided by, you have to remember this organization name, World Resources Institute, WRI. This institute gives us the accounting tool. World Business Council for Sustainable Development. So, these two institutions we need to remember, World Business Council for Sustainable Development and World Resources Institute, WRI. These two together work on it. It is not a UN based, it is provided by WRI and WBCSD. Global Climate Change Alliance. It is an initiative of the European Union. So, European Union, in addition to, like, it's not in lieu of UNCCC, it is in addition, they do additional work. So, mainstreaming climate changes into poverty reduction and development strategies. Main problem in developing countries is poverty. So, if we talk about environment, they may not be following it because they are starving for food. So, they keep expanding their agriculture area and they keep exploiting the mineral resources, etc. So, there this Global Climate Change Alliance will help these organizations in poverty reduction and ensure that environment is not affected in that process. Adoption. So, the problem is like water level is going down because monsoons are not coming in time or like are not sufficient in India. Then how to adapt, how to make best use of the water. So, like sprinkle or drip irrigation, and then so recharging of the bore wells, etc. Like building, say, adoption and building on national adoption programs of action, National Adoption Program of Action, NAPS. Other national plans, disaster risk reduction. So, these are the disasters, and so how to reduce that risk, reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, that is in the UN RED, I will explain later. enhancing participation. That UN RED is different, and this is GCCA is also trying. Global carbon market and clean development mechanisms. These two I told you in the previous session when I talked about UNFCCC. So, GCCA also helps in this area. Climate and Clean Air Coalition. So, we need to remember these initiatives. So, there are different initiatives which are trying to address the climate change. It is launched by UNEP and 6 countries. So, in addition to UNEP, basically these 6 countries: Bangladesh, Canada, Ghana, Mexico, Sweden and US on 16th February. Sweden is a very good country, they help a lot for environment projects. So, aims to catalyze rapid reductions in short lived climate pollutants. So, to protect the human health, agriculture and environment. So, they focus on short lived climate pollutants. Global Alliance for Climate Smart Agriculture. So, we need to have agriculture which is climate smart. So, GACSA is inclusive, voluntary and action oriented multi stakeholder platform for climate smart agriculture. So, it fosters what? Knowledge learning, sharing, partnership building. It also provides space for dialogue and debate. This is what this alliance, Global Alliance for Climate Smart Agriculture. Now, this is an important program, UN RED. So, they have 3 objectives. One is to reduce forest emissions, to enhance carbon stocks in forests. So, I told you carbon sink concept, sink and source. So, we need to make it a better sink. So, contribute to national sustainable development. These 3 UN RED. Reduced emissions. So, direct funding and technical support will be there in this national RED plus programs. So, they will be converted into national programs in different countries in RED plus. So, partner countries. So, complementary tailored funding and technical support to national RED plus actions. So, technical country capacity enhancing support through sharing of expertise, common approaches, analysis, methodologies, tools, data, best practices. So, all this. So, South-South sharing. So, even between the developing countries, they have their own unique situations, like for example, Bangladesh and India can share, and African countries and India, something like that. So, how is this organization structure? So, United Nations program, this is an UN program for reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation. So, UN RED, RED means reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, RED. It was established in 2008, headquarters at Geneva, Switzerland. Most of the organizations headquarters we find here because it is peaceful country, a beautiful place. So, 64 member partner countries are there in this UN RED. So, parent organization is FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, and then UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, UNDP and UNEP. Development program, development program because they now focus on sustainable development. RED plus, it is a voluntary climate change mitigation approach. It is developed by parties to UNFCCC. So, those parties are part of this. So, what they do is they incentivize developing countries to reduce emissions. Developing countries are more focused on aggressive development, more GDP rates, but REDD Plus tries to incentivize developing countries to do what? Reduce emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, conserve forest carbon stocks. So they help us to sustainably manage the forest and enhance forest carbon stocks. First negotiated under UNFCCC 2005. Based on that, this REDD Plus has come up. So I will read, reaffirming that economic and social development and poverty eradication are global priorities. That is what this Bali Action Plan told, enabling developing countries to prioritize policies like poverty eradication through agriculture expansion, hydropower development. All this Bali Action Plan, they said okay, these are all important for developing countries. So they address the developing countries' needs in addition to ensuring that environment is protected. There is a fund. So just mere talk doesn't help. So we need a fund. So in 1992, Rio Earth Summit. So it was established, GEF, Global Environment Facility. So it's provided over $17 billion in grants, mobilized an additional 88 billion financing for more than 4,000 projects in 170 countries. So this is the one which is the game changer. So Global Environment Facility incentivizes countries to go towards clean energy projects or sustainable development projects. So this GEF also serves as financial mechanism for the following conventions. Which conventions they support? Convention on Biological Diversity, UNFCCC, and United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants, POPs, Minnesota Convention on Mercury. So these 5 organizations, they get funding from GEF. So UNEP, Environment Program, this is responsible for coordinating UN's environmental activities, assisting developing countries in implementing environmentally sound policies. So this is a UN wing for environment. When was it started? Stockholm conference. So the Stockholm is the starting point of many things, like Indira Gandhi attended, I told you in one of the previous sessions, and she came back, implemented this, enacted Wildlife Protection Act, and then so many environment friendly acts, and then came this UNEP also based on that Stockholm, and then came UNFCCC. So all this starting point is Stockholm conference for many of this. So aims to help the world meet the sustainable development goals. So 17 sustainable development goals. So focus area is climate change. UNEP focus area is climate change. So the organization structure, so it formed in 5th June 1972, headquartered at Nairobi. A parent organization is United Nations. So they give reports also, like Global Environment Report, GEO 5 is really a comprehensive report. So these reports give us an idea of what's happening, what may happen in future. So they also celebrate these international years, like 2020 is International Year of Plant Health. So every year they have different years celebrated. So now this plant health means pest control and all that. So executive director is Maurice Strong, first he took the initiative actually, he was mainly responsible for this, starting of this, and then now we have Inger Andersen. Ozone layers. So UNEP focuses on this kind of activities. So, for ozone layer, this is there was a hole in ozone layer. In 1979, so I am giving you the history of this ozone layer related issues. Convention on Long Range Transboundary Air Pollutions, 85 Vienna Convention for ozone layer, 87 this is a game changer, Montreal Protocol for ozone depleting substances, ODS, and it's an UNEP initiative. So, what are these ODS? Chlorofluorocarbons. So, I will tell that. Before that, there is another organization, Helsinki Declaration for Protection of Ozone Layer. This is also a UNEP. So, Montreal and Helsinki Declarations, UNEP took initiative. So, ODS, chlorofluorocarbons, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, HCFCs, hydrobromofluorocarbons, HBFCs. So, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, hydrobromochlorofluorocarbons, halogens, methyl bromide, carbon tetrachlorides, methyl chloroform. So, these are all the ODS, ozone depleting substances. We only talk about CFCs because it is a major cause. And this Montreal Protocol is most important protocol with respect to this ozone layer, ozone depleting substances. It is an international treaty designed to protect the ozone layer by phasing out the production of numerous substances that are responsible for ozone depletion. So, as a result of the international agreement, ozone hole in Antarctica is slowly recovering. This is the very good news. So, all these sessions I am only talking about gloomy picture, very big negative news and which happened, which is going to happen, doomsday predictions, but there is one good thing, international community can do something. That is what this Montreal Protocol has proven. So, Kofi Annan said perhaps the single most successful international agreement to date has been the Montreal Protocol. So, all other like Paris Agreement or whatever agreement you take, we have not achieved much. So, but this one Montreal Protocol, even Kyoto Protocol, so there is only talk, there is no substantial action. So, temperatures are growing, but here the ODS substances are replaced by non-ODS substances, and then ozone layer is healing. That is good news. Earth Hour, so it is about like it is not just countries, it is individuals, organizations, everybody is responsible. This Earth Hour makes us aware of it. So, generally in the last week of March, we switch off the lights off. It started as lights off event in Sydney, Australia. So, it is organized by WWF, so Worldwide Fund, they organize it. So, Earth Hour is supported by so many organizations like UNESCO, UNEP, International Trade Union, Woodland, CBRE Group, National Hockey League. So many organizations support this. It is a voluntary organization, like just you can know, because Worldwide Fund is a international NGO and they took this initiative. So, and then I will ask you some questions. I am not going to give answers, I have already gave answers. So, if you do not find answer, you go back and see the video once again or search. I will give some clues though. So, with reference to Global Climate Change Alliance, which of the following statements are correct? 1. It is an initiative of European Union. 2. It provides technical and financial support to targeted developing countries to integrate climate change into their development policies and budgets. It is coordinated by WRI and WBEI. Yes, WBCSD. I told you all these points in the session. So 1 and 2 only, 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Question 2. Consider the following statements. Climate and Clean Air Coalition CCAC to reduce short-lived climate pollutants is a unique initiative of G20 group of countries. Did they talk about that G20? The CCAC focuses on methane, black carbon and hydrocarbons. 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. With reference to the Global Alliance for Climate Smart Agriculture, which of the following statements are correct? So 1. GACSA is an outcome of the climate summit held in Paris 2015. Membership of GACSA does not create any binding obligations. 3. India was instrumental in the creation of GACSA. That third point is wrong. So only 2. Which of the following statements are correct? Proper design and effective implementation of UN REDD Plus program can significantly contribute to 1. Protection of biodiversity, 2. Resilience of forest ecosystems, 3. Poverty reduction. Select the correct answer. 1 and 2 only, 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. With reference to Global Environment Facility, which of the following are correct? A. It serves as financial mechanism for Convention on Biological Diversity, UNFCCC. I told about it. It undertakes scientific research on environmental issues at global level. It's a fund. I'm just giving a clue. It's a fund, not a research institute or anything. It's just a fund. So it is an agency under OECD to facilitate the transfer of technology and funds to underdeveloped countries, specific aim to protect their environment. Question 6. Consider the following statements regarding Earth Hour. It's an initiative of UNEP and UNESCO. I told it's an initiative of whom? It is a movement in which participants switch off the lights for 1 hour on a certain day every year. 3. It is a movement to raise the awareness about the climate change and the need to save the planet. Which of the following statements are correct? 1 and 3 only, 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Question 7. Which one of the following is associated with the issue of control and phasing out of use of ozone depleting substances? Bretton Woods Conference, Montreal Protocol, Kyoto Protocol, Nagoya Protocol. What is Greenhouse Gas Protocol? It's an international accounting tool for government and business leaders. B. It is an initiative of United Nations to offer financial incentives. C. It's an intergovernmental agreement ratified by all the members of countries of UN. D. It is one of the multilateral REDD Plus initiatives hosted by World Bank. I will give couple of quotes and then conclude. This quote is given by Christine Lagarde. She is President European Central Bank. Unless we take action on climate change, future generations will be roasted, toasted, fried and grilled. When it comes to global warming, everybody wants to change the world, but nobody wants to change himself. So we need to know that we are the ones who need to change first. Then only we have to reduce these consumeristic tendencies, we have to reduce the population growth, then only all the problems get solved. Till such time there is no way. So we keep polluting Ganges and then want to clean it. That doesn't work. We should stop polluting. Same way this global warming is happening because of our excessive consumption of everything, starting with fossil fuels, everything we consume more, and then we also produce multiplied population. So both these are responsible for the present debacle. So when it comes to global warming, everybody has to start changing themselves rather than trying to change the world. Thank you very much for joining me. We will meet again with some other topic. Till such time, bye bye.